We are ready to begin. I apologize for the delay. If I could have your attention, we will begin. I apologize for the slight delay, but we're delighted to have you here. My name is Randy Kluver. I'm the Associate Provost and Dean of the School of Global Studies and Partnerships, and it is my delight to welcome you to the Wes Watkins Center today for this. This event is called the Wes Watkins Distinguished Lecture. Wes Watkins is, of course, very well known at Oklahoma State University, including the building that we're in. The building is named after him because of his many years of service to Oklahoma State University and to the state of Oklahoma during his many years in Congress. This lecture series is named after Congressman Watkins and reflects speakers who embody his strong passion for global trade, economic development, and global interaction. Today's speaker very well embodies these values of Congressman Watkins, and we are proud to have him visit our campus today. Rosan Perkasa Roeslani was sworn in as the 21st appointed ambassador of the Republic of Indonesia to the United States in America in 2021 by President Joko Widodo. He is a 1992 Spear School graduate, so welcome home. After graduating, Ambassador Roeslani entered the fields of finance and entrepreneurship and has since become one of Indonesia's most prominent figures in these sectors and has been involved in a number of strategic government initiatives. Ambassador Roeslani has held several leadership positions in the Indonesian business associations and communities, including serving as chairman of Indonesia Chamber of Commerce and Industry. During his tenure, the government of Belgium awarded him the Commander in the Order of Leopold of Belgium as a recognition of his innovations and contributions in further advancing trade and industry relations between Indonesia and Belgium. And unfortunately, we can't offer you that, but we are delighted to have you here. His exemplary passion in public service is well reflected in some of his key involvements in major government-led programs, such as the Chief of Mission for the Indonesian Olympic contingent for Tokyo Olympics 2020, which didn't actually happen in 2020, and the Vice Chairman of the COVID-19 Response and National Economic Recovery Committee. He's also, and I didn't know this until now, the Chairman of the Indonesian Weightlifting Association. So, do a demo or something maybe? So.
Well, I'm not the lifter though.
Okay. So please join me in welcoming Ambassador Rosan Roeslani. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone. Honorable Senator Tom Dagger, Dr. Keen Eastman, Dean of Spears Business School, Dr. Randy Kluver, Dean of School of Global Studies and Partnership. It feels amazing to be back at OSU. What an amazing participant today. Go Pokes! Well, at the outset, I want to thank all the Oklahoma State University faculty and officials for the kind invitation that honored to speak before you. As I stand here today, I'm taken back to memories of 34 years ago, when I was a freshman. I had just graduated high school and lived on my own for the first time. Like any new student, I feel nervous and excited about what was ahead of me. Being in a new environment on my own felt very daunting, especially so because I was an international student, 10,000 miles away from my country, Indonesia. It was the first time I'd been away from home, far from my family, while having to get used to the English language. But OSU always made me feel welcome. I live in the dorm where I made a lasting friendship. It was also a place where I learned important life lessons, including seemingly trivial ones, such as how to operate the laundry machines. During my first winter here, I learned a good lesson that sweaters should not go in the dryer. You can imagine my parents was so unhappy, knowing that they have to buy a new set of sweater for me. My time in Oklahoma also gave me a first taste of responsibility as I took on my first job in car dealership, where I learned that the art of the sale, how to connect with customers and clients, and how to do business. From my academic experience, I discovered my passion for finance, which has made up the bulk of my career. A double major in general business and management, as well as a minor in finance, gave me the first step to pursue my career in investment and finance. And after a few years of work, I continued my studies in Belgium, attaining an MBA in international finance. From then on, I have continued to build my career by establishing my own company in Indonesia and expanding it. There's no doubt my experience at OSU played a big part in shaping the person I have become. Flash forward to now, here I'm representing my country as an ambassador, as something in my life I never thought would be a part of my journey. And yet, believe it or not, being an ambassador for the past year has taught me that diplomacy is not too different from sales. My OSU friends, the main goal of any ambassador is to bring benefits to the people of their country, among others through building trust, prioritizing value, and strengthening friendship. So let me first paint a picture of Indonesia. When you hear the name of Indonesia, what immediately enters your mind? Does it anything to do with culture, politics, economy, environment, or music and arts? Indonesia is a combination of many things and a combination of 1,000-year history, which has created a dynamic, exciting, and energetic country. It is the fourth most populous country in the world, with 276 million people. Not a lot of people aware of that number. So it is now the world's third largest democracy, the world's most populous Muslim majority country. It is the largest economy in Southeast Asia, the 60th largest economy in the world by nominal GDP. Indonesia is aiming to become the 7th largest economy in the world by 2045 with a GDP of $7 trillion. And it is also the largest archipelagic country with more than 17,000 islands. So if you want to live in Indonesia and you want to stay in all different islands, I think it will take years and years. Indonesia's size spans slightly longer than the length of California to New York. It is the largest country in Southeast Asia, with a dimension from east to west of about 3,200 miles and 1,100 miles from north to south. So actually it will take about 7 hours flying from one end to the other end in Indonesia. Owing to this unique geographical location, Indonesia is a multifaceted country that boasts natural wonders like beach, mountains, and to modern metropolitan cities. Also because of its location, you can think Indonesia as the one of the world's busiest trade routes from ancient times right up to the current day, which is in turn resulted in society that multicultural, dynamic, and creative. We have around 1,300 ethnic groups and around 700 local languages. In terms of cooperating with US, Indonesia and US already have an amazing bilateral foundation. Firstly, our two countries are great friends, both politically and economically, since the establishment of diplomatic relations in 1949. But our people-to-people relation date way before Indonesia's independence, when the US established its consulate post in 1801 Batavia. Our relationship, which was built on shared values and common goals, is a vibrant and vital at the points in our histories. We initiated a comprehensive partnership in 2010 and upgraded it to the strategic partnership in 2015. The US is the second largest trading partner and export destination for Indonesia. Indonesia-US two-way trade reached $37.2 billion in 2021, and on the current trend, we are optimistic the figure will exceed last year's trade value. The US is also Indonesia's fourth largest sources of investment last year, amounting to $2.5 billion. It was an increase of 74.6% compared to 2020. Indonesia trade with Oklahoma State total is only $46.9 million in 2021. So we have a lot of homework to increase the trade, especially between Indonesia and Oklahoma State then. Furthermore, the engagement at the leadership level has intensified since the year 2020, with President Biden focusing on the Indo-Pacific region. Indonesia, as the natural leader in the region, has also joined the Indo-Pacific Economic Forum, or IPEF, initiated by the US. It is expected to facilitate greater economic cooperation through its 4 pillars: trade, supply chains, clean economy, and fair economy. Our defense cooperation is also worth mentioning. The United States is one of the Indonesia's leading defense partners. We have more than 200 cooperation activities annually, including one of the largest joint military exercises in the region, Garuda Shield, which involved nearly 5,000 personnel last year. The Indonesia-United States partnership also goes beyond bilateral spectrum. We have been coordinating and collaborating closely in addressing regional and global issues of the common concern, such as global access to vaccine, climate change, food security, democracy, and human rights protection. So as you can see, the foundational basis for Indonesia-US cooperation is already standing strong. For its part, Indonesia is a country that is not afraid to take a lead in the international and regional cooperation. It is currently the president of the G20 and will soon host the G20 summit in Bali this November. Indonesia's G20 presidency this year has underlined the importance of global partnership to address global challenges. With the theme, Recover Together, Recover Stronger, 3 priority areas are key to a strong and sustainable recovery: strengthening global health architecture, digital transformation, and energy transition. Next year, Indonesia will take over the chairmanship of ASEAN, where we will actively promote and enhance the interests and the well-being of the Southeast Asian region. Indonesia is also an active member of the United Nations, having served as non-permanent member of Security Council, member of the Human Rights Council, and the UN peacekeeping troop contributing country. Indonesia has been successful in transforming itself to be the 16th largest economy. It has maintained this positive trajectory and aims to grow its economy to $7 trillion by 2045, and aims to be among the top choice for foreign investors. Indonesia economic growth is strong and steady despite global economic challenges. For the past decade until now, its economy consistently grew more than 5% per year. In 2022, Indonesia economic growth is expected to reach 5.1%. The projection is above the global average economic growth at 2.9%. In the second quarter of 2022, Indonesia recorded 5.4% growth year-on-year. Many factors contribute to maintaining Indonesia growth, among others: market-friendly government policies, major economy policy reforms, sustainable use of natural resources, and responsive fiscal and monetary policy. I want to seize the forward momentum and strengthen our economic recovery through an increase in Indonesia export and reaching a target of total trade value of 60 billion in 2024. Allow me to highlight Indonesia's biggest reform is investment. In 2020, Indonesia legislative body and government passed and adopted the law on job creation, a milestone in Indonesia's legal and structural reform to improve the business and investment climate. The law is the realization of the Indonesia government's strong commitment to the structural reform, particularly to significantly ease the investment process and ease of doing business in Indonesia. This is in support of Indonesia government effort to grow its economy to $7 trillion by 2045, with the aim to be among the top choice for foreign investors. In a nutshell, the Omnibus Law has made extensive reform, among others improving the business licensing process through online single submission, tax reform, competitive employment regulation, and strengthening special economic zone. Of course, we understand there is still a pressure on the economy. The war between Russia and Ukraine has had an impact on the world energy, food, metal commodity export, causing the rise of commodity prices and the country inflation. For instance, the year-on-year inflation rate for the US is 8.3% for the 12 months that ended in August 2022. Indonesia annual inflation rate accelerated to 5.9% to 5.9% in September 2022 from 4.6%, the highest level since October 2015, and compared with market estimate of 6%. Rising energy and food prices have a significant impact on many countries in the world. High inflation in many countries, including developed countries like in the US. Post-pandemic, we realized that there is a new normal, especially related to the various social, economic, and technological changes such as the acceleration of automation and digitalization, a rise in artificial intelligence and big data, changes in global value chains, a change in the way we work such as teleconferencing, working from home, and etc. An adjustment in health system with lessons learned from the COVID-19 pandemic, and we need for green recovery in reducing climate change. These changes will be beneficial, and we must continually update ourselves to adjust to them. Indonesia realized that can be challenges if we are not well prepared, so we must complete various homeworks to succeed, such as controlling the COVID-19 pandemic, transforming Indonesia economy to be industrial-based, not relying on the commodities, improving efficiency through digitalization, facing the challenges of climate change, energy transition. To combat the pandemic and support economic recovery, in 2020, the government of Indonesia spent 40.6 billion in the COVID-19 recovery. This number increased to 48.6 billion in 2021, and in 2022, the budget is set at 31.6 billion. The percentage of vaccination reached 98.23% for the first dose, around 204 million doses from target population of 208 million people, and 82.2% for the second dose. I'm also happy to note that the rate of vaccination is gradually increasing. Furthermore, since 2020 March 2022, Indonesian government has eased the travel restriction and application for visa and arrival procedures, including for the US. Reliable handling of the pandemic made it possible for Indonesia to experience faster economic recovery. Indonesia experienced strong economic growth compared to its peer at 5% per year on year, April 2022. Indonesia growth became one of the highest in the world at 47.8% year on year. For the long term, we are focusing on the sustainability. We have done our due diligence in domestic reform. As I mentioned before, we are also concentrating on the green recovery. Our livelihood is affected by the changing climate. The Indonesian government takes the issue very seriously, as Indonesia is an archipelagic country. Climate change is also a common concern for the world. In this regard, and to significantly remove greenhouse gas emission, Indonesia believes that energy transition is the key pillar to decarbonizing the economy and shifting to cleaner sources of energy. Our economy will rely more and more on clean energy. Indonesia has set a target for emission reduction and net zero emission by 2060 or sooner. Therefore, Indonesia is putting a lot of effort into investment in the green industry. Indonesia is blessed with abundant renewable energy potential. It is predicted Indonesia has a total potential of 437 gigawatt potential clean energy resources composed of the ocean, geothermal, bioenergy, wind, hydro, and solar. To achieve our nationally determined contribution and realize a net carbon future, Indonesia is aware that having international support will expedite our goals to achieve net zero emission target. On clean energy, Indonesia is pushing for bilateral cooperation with the US on innovative and realistic financing, technology, or expertise. The Indonesian government has set a target for renewable energy for electricity generation of 23% in 2025 and 31% by 2050. To support its ambition, Indonesia is phasing out coal plants, including putting the plants on the early retirement. We will phase out 5.5 gigawatt before 2030, which need around 8.5 billion in investment support. Indonesia is the best resource for electric vehicle ecosystem. Indonesia has a 21 million ton reserve of nickel, which account for 23.7% of the world nickel reserve. Other minerals such as cobalt, aluminum, and manganite also available to support the lithium-ion battery industry. That's why if you see my picture with Elon Musk, because I tried to convince him to invest in the EV battery, because a lot of mostly ASEAN country, also like Korea, China, UK, they've been invested in our EV battery manufacturing. So now my picture with Elon Musk to convince him to invest in EV battery. Ford already signed an MOU with us, so they will also invest in EV battery. But so far, my discussion with him went very well, so hopefully by early next year, Tesla also will invest in EV battery in Indonesia. Referring to our national electricity supply business plan, the clean and renewable energy that will be built according to the plan include geothermal, hydropower, microhydro, solar power, wind power, and biomass. I heard that OSU recently established the HAM Institute for American Energy to promote discussion on energy and science-based solution. I hope Indonesia could one day also participate in discussion at this institute in its effort to prioritize energy transition. To sum up, the United States have been Indonesia's long-standing partner. Our relationship, which was built on shared value and common goals, is vibrant and vital at all points in our history. Our cooperation has grown even stronger in the various fields, including in trade, investment, defense, and regional and international issues. Indonesia continues to play a leading role in global issues. It has also enacted domestic reform to ease processes in investment and businesses. We do realize that there are external pressures that have huge impact on the economic trajectory, such as the pandemic, the effect of the Russia-Ukraine war, and global challenges like climate change. Indonesia's economy is recovering quickly due to the effort of the government in its COVID-19 handling and vaccination program. And we now focus on the long-term goal of the green recovery to mitigate climate change. I hope that Indonesia's economic stability and growth, ease of doing business, and current priorities give you an overview of my country and its potential for a continued strong partnership with the United States. These are Indonesia potential that I can share with you. Before I close my presentation, I would like to highlight an issue that is close to my heart, which is about you, the young generation. My hope is that the Indonesian and American students become partners, become closer, and work together in creating a better future. Starting from today, I'm not only the Indonesian ambassador to the US, but I'm also your ambassador. I want to invite you to visit Indonesia and see for yourself the spirit of Indonesian people. Come to Indonesia and drop me a line when you are there. Perhaps I can take you to the Indonesian version of Eskimo Joe's. Thank you. Go Pokes.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Roeslani. I would like to invite Dean Ken Eastman to join me at the podium. Although many people in Oklahoma and in OSU know the legacy of Henry G. Bennett in establishing Oklahoma State University as a transformative university, not as many understand his vision for OSU's engagement globally. As the first director of the Point 4 program, Bennett was instrumental in building the philosophy, the structure, and the values of America's first real attempt at international aid. In explaining the mission, President Bennett said, Point 4 is a program for peace. It enlists the talents and energies of many peoples in the common effort to create a better, more peaceful world. There is nothing warlike or destructive about Point 4 except that it is a war against hunger, disease, and misery, which afflict millions of human beings as an attempt to destroy the evil conditions that breed war. When you were a student here, Ambassador, I don't know if you knew the entire legacy of President Bennett. We visited his statue this morning and his global legacy. But today, the School of Global Studies is pleased to bestow our highest honor, the Henry G. Bennett Distinguished Fellowship, to Rosan Perkasa Roeslani. Ambassador Roeslani has a long legacy of global service, diplomacy, and commitment to peace, which is the embodiment of what President Bennett was seeking, to bring about the prosperity and peace to peoples around the world. Among the recipients of the Bennett Award are 3 former prime ministers, 1 president, and 2 U.S. secretaries of state. We will now add an ambassador. Let me congratulate you today on your long career of service, and on behalf of the School of Global Studies, I'm pleased to announce that you are the first recipient of the Henry G. Bennett Distinguished Fellowship in 10 years. Congratulations from the faculty, staff, and students from the School of Global Service, and thank you for your service to Oklahoma State University and to peoples around the world, and for offering to be our ambassador to Indonesia. Please join Dean Eastman and I. Do you want to say anything else? Very good. So we're very grateful for Ambassador Roeslani. I would also like to introduce a few other visitors today. Madam Ayu, Ambassador Roeslani's wife, is here as well. Andre Omar Sirigar, the Consul General from Houston. And Andre, if I can, you know, the Mexican consulate has just come to Oklahoma City, right? So maybe Indonesia needs to set up a consulate. And yeah, okay, that'll work. Mrs. Rika Sirigar, Consul General's wife. We have a number of people from the embassy who are visiting today, including Thomas Panto up here, Febria, Radicha, where's, not here yet, okay. Angie, thank you. And then Christian Aryawanata is somewhere here. On behalf of the School of Global Studies and Partnerships, thank you for being here today. Now I'd like you to join the ambassador and his party, as well as the students and faculty, for a reception out in the hallway. Thank you again.